Parashat Vayishlach, Genesis chapter 32 verse 4 to 36 verse 43. Chapter 32 verse 4. Then Jacob sent messengers before him to his brother Esau, to the land of Seir, the field of Edom. He also commanded them, saying, "This is what you should say to my lord, to Esau. This is what your servant Jacob said. I've been staying with Laban and have lingered until now. Now I've come to possess oxen and donkeys, flocks, male servants and female servants. I sent word to tell my lord, in order to find favor in your eyes." The messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We went to your brother, to Esau, and he's also coming out to meet you, and 400 men with him." So Jacob became extremely afraid and distressed. He divided the people with him, along with the flocks and herds and camels, into 2 camps. For he thought, if Esau comes to one camp and strikes it, the camp that's left will escape. Then Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, Adonai, who said to me, 'Return to your land and to your relatives, and I will do good with you.' I am unworthy of all the proofs of mercy and of all the dependability that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed over this Jordan, and now I've become 2 camps. Deliver me, please, from my brother's hand, from Esau's hand, for I'm afraid of him, that he'll come and strike me, the mothers with the children. You yourself said, I will most certainly do good with you, and will make your seed like the sand of the sea that cannot be counted because of its abundance." So he stayed overnight there. Then from all that had come into his possession he took an offering for Esau his brother, 200 female goats, 20 billy goats, 200 ewes, 20 rams, 30 milking camels with their young, 40 cows, 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys, and 10 male donkeys. He put them in the hands of his servants, each herd by itself, and he said to his servants, "Pass over before me, and put a gap between each of the herds." Then he commanded the first one, saying, "When my brother Esau meets you and asks you, saying, 'To whom do you belong, and where are you going, and to whom do all these before you belong?' then you are to say, 'To your servant, to Jacob. It's an offering sent to my lord, to Esau. And look, he's also behind us." And he also commanded the second one, the third one, and all those who were going behind the flocks, saying, "Say the same exact thing to Esau when you find him. Then you are to say, 'Look, your servant Jacob is also behind us.' For he thought, 'Let me appease him with the offering that goes ahead of me, and afterward see his face. Perhaps he'll lift up my face.' So the offering passed over ahead of him, while he spent that night in the camp. Then he got up that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and he sent across whatever he had. So Jacob remained all by himself. Then a man wrestled with him until the break of dawn. When he saw that he had not overcome him, he struck the socket of his hip. So he dislocated the socket of Jacob's hip when he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for the dawn has broken." But he said, "I won't let you go unless you bless me." Then he said to him, "What is your name?" "Jacob," he said. Then he said, "Your name will no longer be Jacob, but rather Israel, for you have struggled with God and with men, and you have overcome." Then Jacob asked and said, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "What's this? You were asking my name?" Then he blessed him there. So Jacob named the place Peniel, for I've seen God face to face, and my life has been spared. Now the sun rose upon him just as he crossed by Peniel, limping because of his hip. That is why the children of Israel do not eat the tendon of the hip socket to this very day, because he struck the socket of Jacob's thigh on the tendon of the hip. Chapter 33. Then Jacob glanced up and saw, behold, there was Esau coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah, Rachel, and the 2 female servants. He put the female servants and their children first, then Leah and her children behind them, then Rachel and Joseph behind them. But he himself passed on ahead of them, and bowed to the ground 7 times until he came near to his brother. But Esau ran to meet him, hugged him, fell on his neck, and kissed him, and they wept. His eyes glanced up and saw the women and the children, and said, "Who are these with you?" "The children whom God has graciously given your servant," he said. Then the female servants approached, they and their children, and bowed down. Leah also approached along with her children, and they bowed down. And finally Joseph and Rachel approached and bowed down. "What do you mean by this whole caravan that I've met?" So he said, "To find favor in your eyes, my lord." But Esau said, "I have plenty, O my brother, do keep all that belongs to you." Yet Jacob said, "No, please, if I have found favor in your eyes, then you will take my offering from my hand. For this is the reason I've seen your face. It is like seeing the face of God, and you've accepted me. Please take my blessing that was brought to you, because God has been gracious to me, and because I have everything." So he kept urging him until he accepted. Then he said, "Let's journey and be on our way, and I'll go ahead of you." He continued, "My Lord knows that the children are tender, and that the flocks and the cattle in my care are nursing. So if they were pushed hard, just one day, all the flocks would die. Please let my Lord pass on ahead of your servant, and I'll move on further gradually, at a pace suited to the livestock that are before me, and at a pace suited to the children, until I come to my Lord in Seir." Then Esau said, "Please let me leave with you some of the people who are with me." But he said, "What's this? Let me find favor in my Lord's eyes." So on that day Esau returned on his way to Seir. But Jacob journeyed to Sukkot and built a house for himself, and for his livestock he made booths. This is the reason that place is called Sukkot. So Jacob arrived in Shalom to the city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Padan Aram and camped right in front of the city. He purchased the portion of the field there where he had pitched his tent from the sons of Hamor, Shechem's father, for 100 pieces of money. There he set up an altar, and he called it El, is Israel's God. Chapter 34. Now Dinah, Leah's daughter, whom she bore for Jacob, went out to look at the daughters of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor the Hivite, the prince of the land, saw her, he took her and lay with her by force. But his soul clung to Dinah, Jacob's daughter, and he loved the young woman and spoke reassuringly to the young woman. So Shechem said to his father Hamor, saying, "Get me this girl for a wife." Now Jacob had heard that he had defiled his daughter Dinah, while his sons were with his livestock in the field, so Jacob kept quiet until they came in. Meanwhile Shechem's father Hamor went out to Jacob in order to speak with him. Jacob's sons had already come in from the field when they heard, and the men were deeply grieved and furious, because he had committed a vile deed in Israel by laying with Jacob's daughter, which ought never to be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, "My son Shechem, he's very attached to your daughter. Please give her to him for a wife. Intermarry with us. You can give your daughters to us, and you can take our daughters for yourselves. You can live with us, and the land will be open to you. Live in it, move about freely in it, and settle down in it." Shechem also said to her father and to her brothers, "Would that I find favor in your eyes. Whatever you say to me, I'll give. Set the dowry and the presents as high as you like, and I'll give whatever you say to me. But give me the young woman as a wife." But Jacob's sons answered Shechem and his father Hamor deceitfully as they spoke, because he had defiled their sister Dinah. They said to them, "We can't do this thing, give our sister to a man who is uncircumcised, for this is a disgrace to us. Only by this will we consent to you, if you will become like us by circumcising every male. Then we'll give you our daughters and take your daughters for ourselves and live with you and become one people. But if you don't listen to us and be circumcised, we'll take our daughter and leave." Now their words seemed good to Hamor, as well as Hamor's son Shechem. So the young man did not hesitate to do it, since he delighted in Jacob's daughter. Now he was honored above everyone else in his father's house. So Hamor and his son Shechem came into the gate of their city and spoke to the men of their city, saying, "These men are enjoying a peaceful relationship with us, and they are living in the land and moving about freely in it. As for the land, look, it's spread out on both sides before us. We can take their daughters to be our wives, and we can give our daughters to them. But by this did these men consent to us, to live with us, and to become one people, when all our males are circumcised as they are circumcised. Their livestock and their possessions, won't they be ours? Only let us consent to them so that they'll live with us." Now everyone who went out of the gate of his city listened to Hamor and to his son Shechem, and every male was circumcised, everyone who went out the gate of his city. Then on the third day, while they were in pain, 2 of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came against the city undisturbed, and killed every male. Hamor and his son Shechem they killed with the sword, then took Dinah from Shechem's house and left. Jacob's sons came upon the slain and plundered the city because they defiled their sister. They took their flocks, their cattle, and their donkeys, those that were in the city as well as those that were in the field. All their wealth, their little children, and their wives they captured and plundered, as well as everything that was in the houses. But Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, "You've brought trouble on me, making me a stench among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites. I am but a few men. They'll gather against me and strike me, then I'll be destroyed, my household and I." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a prostitute?" Chapter 35. Then God said to Jacob, "Get up, go up to Beth-el and stay there. Make an altar there to the God who appeared to you when you fled from your brother Esau." So Jacob said to his household and to everyone who was with him, "Get rid of the foreign gods that are among you. Cleanse yourselves and change your clothes. Now let's get up and go up to Beth-el so that I can make an altar there to God, who answered me in the day of my distress and has been with me in the way that I have gone." So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods in their hand and the rings in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak tree near Shechem. Then they journeyed, and the terror of God was on the cities that were around them, so they did not pursue Jacob's sons. Then Jacob arrived at Luz in the land of Canaan, that is Beth-el, he and all the people who were with him. He built an altar there and called the place El Beth-el, because God had revealed himself to him there when he fled from the presence of his brother. Then Rebekah's nurse Deborah died and was buried below Beth-el under the oak, so it was named Oak of Weeping. God appeared to Jacob again after he returned from Padam Aram, and he blessed him. God said to him, "Your name was Jacob. No longer will your name be Jacob, for your name will be Israel." So he named him Israel. God also said to him, "I am El Shaddai. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation and an assembly of nations will come from you. From your loins will come forth kings. The land that I gave to Abraham and to Isaac, I give it to you, and to your seed after you I will give the land." Then God went up from him at that place where he had spoken with him. Jacob set up a memorial stone in the place where he had spoken with him, a stone pillar, and he poured a drink offering on it and poured oil on it. Jacob named the place where God spoke with him Beth-el. Then they traveled from Beth-el, and while they were still a distance from entering Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth, but her labor was difficult. While she was struggling to give birth, the midwife said to her, "Don't be afraid, for this is also a son for you." Now as her soul was departing, for she died, she named him Ben-Oni, but his father named him Benjamin. Then Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is, Bethlehem. Jacob set up a memorial stone over her grave. It is the memorial stone over Rachel's grave to this day. Then Israel journeyed on and set up his tent beyond the tower of Eder. While Israel was living in that land, Reuben went and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard about it. Now Jacob had 12 sons. Leah's sons were Jacob's firstborn, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun. Rachel's sons were Yosef and Benjamin. The sons of Bilhah, Rachel's female servant, were Dan and Naphtali. And the sons of Zilpah, Leah's female servant, were Gad and Asher. These are Jacob's sons who were born to him in Padam Aram. Then Jacob came to his father Isaac at Mamre of Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Now Isaac's days were 180 years. And Isaac breathed his last and died, and was gathered to his peoples, old and full of days. So his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Chapter 36. Now these are the genealogies of Esau, that is Edom. Esau took his wives from the daughters of Canaan, Adah, daughter of Elon the Hittite, Oholibamah, daughter of Anna, daughter of Zivion the Hivite, and Basemath, daughter of Ishmael, sister of Nebaioth. Adah bore Eliphaz to Esau. Basemath bore Reuel, and Oholibamah bore Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. These were Esau's sons, who were born to him in the lands of Canaan. Now Esau took his wives, his sons, his daughters, and all the people of his household, as well as his livestock, all his cattle, and all his possessions that he had acquired in the land of Canaan, and went to a land away from his brother Jacob. For their possessions were too numerous for them to dwell together, and the land where they were residing was unable to support them because of their livestock. So Esau lived in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. So these are the genealogies of Esau, the father of Edom in the hill country of Seir. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, son of Esau's wife Adah; Reuel, son of Esau's wife Basemath. The son of Eliphaz were Timon, Omar, Zepho, Gatam, and Kenaz. Now Timnah was a concubine to Esau's son Eliphaz, and she bore Amalek to Eliphaz. These are the sons of Esau's wife Adah. These are Reuel's sons, Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mitzah. These were the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These were the sons of Oholibamah, daughter of Anna, daughter of Esau's wife Zibeon. She bore to Esau Jeush and Jalam and Korah. These are the chiefs from Esau's sons. The sons of Eliphaz, Esau's firstborn, were Chief Teman, Chief Omar, Chief Zepho, Chief Kenaz, Chief Korah, Chief Gatam, Chief Amalek. These are the chiefs from Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Adah. These are the sons of Esau's son Reuel, Chief Nahath, Chief Zerah, Chief Shammah, Chief Mitzah. These are chiefs from Reuel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Esau's wife Basemath. These are the sons of Esau's wife Oholibamah, Chief Jeush, Chief Jalam, Chief Korah. These are the chiefs from Oholibamah, daughter of Esau's wife Anna. These are Esau's sons, and these are their children, their chiefs, that is Edom. These are the sons of Seir, the Horites, the inhabitants of the land: Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anna, Dishon, Etzer, and Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites, the sons of Seir in the land of Edom. The sons of Lotan were Hori and Hemam. Lotan's sister is Timnah. These are Shobal's sons: Alvan, Manahath, Ebal, Shepho, and Onam. These are Zibeon's sons, Ayah and Anna, that is, the Anna who found the hot springs in the desert while he was pasturing the donkeys of his father Zibeon. These are the children of Anna, Dishon and Oholibamah, Anna's daughter. These are Dishon's sons, Hemdan, Eshban, Itran, and Cheran. These are Itzar's sons, Bilhan, Zeevan, and Akan. These are Dishan's sons, Utz and Aran. These are the chiefs of the Horites: Chief Lotan, Chief Shobal, Chief Zivion, Chief Anna, Chief Dishon, Chief Etzer, Chief Dishan. These are the chiefs of the Horites according to their chiefly divisions in the land of Seir. Now these are the kings who reigned in the land of Edom before any king reigned over the sons of Israel. Bela, son of Beor, reigned in Edom. The name of his city was Dinhaba. And when Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah, from Botzra, reigned in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Temanites reigned in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, who struck down the Midianites in the field of Moab, reigned in his place. The name of his city was Avit. When Hadad died, Samlah from Masrekah reigned in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from Rehovot by the river reigned in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, reigned in his place. When Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, died, Hadar reigned in his place. The name of his city is Pau, and his wife's name is Mehetabel, daughter of Matred, daughter of Mezahab. Now these are the names of the chiefs from Esau, according to their family divisions, according to their places, by their names: Chief Timnah, Chief Alva, Chief Jetheth, Chief Aholibama, Chief Elah, Chief Pinon, Chief Kenaz, Chief Teman, Chief Mipsar, Chief Magdiel, Chief Iram. These are the chiefs for Edom, according to their places of residence in the land of their possession. This is Esau, the father of Edom. Obadiah chapter 1. The vision of Obadiah. Thus says Adonai Elohim concerning Edom. We have heard a report from Adonai, and an envoy has been sent among the nations. Arise, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I will make you least among the nations, you will be greatly despised. The arrogance of your heart has deceived you. Living in the clefts of the rock, his dwelling place is lofty, saying in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the earth? Even if you soar like the eagle, and even if you set your nest among the stars, from there I will bring you down, declares Adonai. If thieves came to you, if robbers by night, how ruined you would be. Would they keep stealing after they had enough? If grape gatherers came to you, would they not leave some gleaning? How Esau will be ransacked, and how his hidden treasures searched out. All your allies will force you to the border. The men that are at peace with you will deceive you and overpower you. Those who eat your bread will set a trap under you. He has no discernment. In that day, declares Adonai, will I not destroy the wise men from Edom, and understanding from the hill country of Esau? Then your mighty men, O Timan, will be shattered, so everyone will be cut off from the hill country of Esau by slaughter. Because of your violence to your brother Yaakov, shame will cover you, and you will be cut off forever. On the day that you stood aloof, on the day that strangers carried away his wealth, while foreigners entered his gates and cast lots for Jerusalem, you were just like one of them. You should not look down on your brother on the day of his disaster, nor should you rejoice over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. You should not speak proudly in the day of their distress. Do not enter the gate of my people in the day of their disaster. Yes, you. Do not gloat over their misery in the day of their disaster. Yes, you do not loot their wealth in the day of their calamity. Do not stand at the crossroad to cut down his fugitives, and do not imprison his survivors in the day of distress. For the day of Adonai is near against all the nations. As you have done, it shall be done to you. Your dwelling will return on your own head. For just as you have drunk on my holy mountain, so all the nations shall drink continually. Yes, they will drink and gulp down, and then be as though they had never existed. But on Mount Zion there will be deliverance, and it will be holy. Then the house of Yaakov will dispossess those who dispossessed them. The house of Yaakov will be a fire, and the house of Yosef flame, while the house of Esau will be straw. They will set them on fire and consume them. There will be no survivors of the house of Esau, for Adonai has spoken. Then those of the Negev will possess the hill country of Esau, and those of the foothills the Philistines. Then they will possess the territory of Ephraim and the territory of Samaria, while Benjamin will possess Gilead. The exiles of this army of Bnei Israel will possess what belonged to the Canaanites, as far as Zarephath, while the exiles of Jerusalem, who are in Shephard, will possess the cities of the Negev. The victorious will go up on Mount Zion, to judge the hill country of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Adonai's. Hebrews chapter 11, verses 11 to 20. By faith, even Sarah herself received ability to conceive when she was barren and past the age, since she considered the one who had made the promise to be faithful. So from one, and him as good as dead, were fathered offspring as numerous as the stars of heaven and as uncountable as the sand on the seashore. These all died in faith without receiving the things promised, but they saw them and welcomed them from afar, and they confessed that they were strangers and sojourners on the earth. For those who say such things make it clear that they are seeking a homeland. If indeed they had been thinking about where they had come from, they would have had an opportunity to return. But as it is, they yearn for a better land, that is, a heavenly one. Therefore God is not ashamed to be called their God, for he has prepared a city for them. By faith Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Yitzhak. Yes, he who had received the promises was offering up his one and only son, the son about whom it was said, "Through Yitzhak offspring shall be named for you." He reasoned that God was able to raise him up even from the dead, and in a sense he did receive him back from there. By faith Yitzhak blessed Yaakov and Esau, even concerning things to come.